Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Today we're going to make a Christmas sweatshirt with a twist. So I am going to show you how to make a super cute side bow on your sweatshirt out of HTV. So you need your Cricut machine, a heat press, and you too can have a cute side bow on both sides of any sweatshirt you're making this holiday season. So the front design does not matter. You can use any design you would like on the front. The side bow that I created has 2 layers of HTV, so you'll need 2 colors of HTV for that side bow. And I will link to the bow SVG file in the description below this video, so you can download the bow to make this project. So we're going to walk through the steps on making this side bow, and this is part of a collaboration with Corey George with Hey Let's Make Stuff, and she has another Christmas HTV idea for you, and it will start playing if you're watching the live premiere. It will start playing as soon as this video is over, or you can head to the description below this video at any point in time to click her video link and see another great idea with HTV for the holidays. So now let's take a look at supplies we're going to use to make this side bow sweatshirt. For this project, you're going to need your sweatshirt, and literally any sweatshirt will work for this. You're going to need your HTV, and you can use any brand for this project, as well as a weeding hook, Cricut machine, and some type of heat source. Now, for the HTV, I am using B-Flex Gimme 5 HTV, and I will have it linked in the description below this video. It's a very low temp, low time HTV, and I love to use it for projects like this because it makes them quick and easy. And for layering projects, it's amazing because I can get them done even quicker in about 8 seconds for a 2-layer project. First, we're going to head to Cricut Design Space and take a look at the design for this project. Within Cricut Design Space, I uploaded the bow SVG file that I have for free in the description below this video. I also used the text tool to type out Merry Christmas, y'all. I used the font Annie Lou, and I've already changed my bow colors to be approximately the color of my HTV so I can see how everything looks. I'm also going to take this font, combine, and weld, then take the font and add a slight offset. I feel like 0.08 is good, so I'm going to click apply, and that offset I am going to make the green color. And then the bow, I also want to duplicate it, so I have 2 bows. Now I measured on my shirt and I made my bow approximately 6 inches high. I felt like that would work well with my shirt. You can make this whatever size you would want. You would just resize at this point. And then you can also add whatever design you would like across the chest and make it whatever size you would like. I went ahead and picked the Explore 3 as my machine. I'm going to click Make, Automat, click Confirm. And actually these will fit all together, so I'm going to do Move Object and move it to this mat. Now I have 2 bows and my text, and what we can do is flip the bows around so that 2 of those fit on a single 12 by 12 sheet, and I can repeat that for the aqua. And then for both of the sheets I'm going to cut, I am going to mirror the design because you need to mirror for HTV. And then we can click Continue. Go ahead and pick the machine and then browse on materials. And I like to use the everyday iron-on setting, and we'll click Done. I'm going to remember material settings and use a default pressure and go ahead and head to my Cricut machine to cut this material. For this material, you want to put it shiny side down on the mat, and I'm going to use a brayer and push that material down really well. Then you can use any Cricut machine to cut this. We're going to add the mat to the machine. Then you can just press go to cut. Once the machine's done cutting, we can just unload it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut both colors, and then we'll take a look at weeding this material. For each color, we're gonna weed the design. We're gonna weed everything around the outside, as well as things like the centers of letters. Anything you don't want transferred to your sweatshirt, we need to get rid of at this time. This product weeds really easily, so I'm just gonna weed both my colors, and then we can take a look at pressing. Here are both colors completely weeded, and now we are ready to apply to the sweatshirt. So I'm gonna cut these apart and then head to my heat press. I'm gonna start with the bows, and the first thing you wanna do is to get your location on both sides. Now this one sort of came folded within the packaging and has seams down the side. Your sweatshirt might have a seam down the side. If it does, center on that seam. If it does not, you just want to work on getting it very flat. I'm just going to go ahead and press a little bit just to sort of preheat and get a good crease on those sides. And that crease is going to be my location. And I'm also setting the pressure during this process. Then you can flatten that side out, and I'm threading it on my heat press so I don't mess up the seam that I just created on the other side. And I can see the seam running down from my location. So I'm just going to press this just slightly, getting rid of any wrinkles or anything. And you can see my seam is still here for pressing and centering. The first layer in this case is going to be the pink. What we want to do is to locate the pink portion of the bow. This is the center, and these ends should be on the bottom. So I'm going to center it and make sure that the ends go all the way to the bottom of the sweatshirt. So ends on the bottom, center on my crease, and then we can press, and this is 285 degrees for 4 seconds, so very, very quick. I'm not even going to use the auto open function to this press. I'm just going to open it right back up, and you can peel this warm. Just leave it in the press, and we'll peel back the carrier sheet on this version. Then just take your next color and center it over that pink. Now I added a slight offset to the outside edge of this, so there may be excess around the outside, which is the look I was going for with this bow. So once we have it in location, I'm going to add slightly more pressure this time around and press. Again, just 4 seconds does it. I'm just going to manually open the press and let it cool just a couple of seconds. You can peel it warm. And we'll just peel this one back. And it should be complete. If you see anything lifting, you can add a Teflon sheet or something to the top and just make sure everything gets stuck down really well. You especially want to watch in the area where this seam is, where the band of the sweatshirt is. So if this area needs to be pressed again, you can press again at this time with something over the top. I'm going to repeat this entire process on the opposite side of the sweatshirt. After the second side is complete, I'm going to do the front of the sweatshirt in a similar manner. So I'm just going to put the sweatshirt in the press, preheat. Then I'm just going to add this first layer. Press the first layer. Again, I'm just going to manually open, remove the carrier sheet, locate the second layer and press it. Manually open, allow that to cool just a second, and remove the carrier sheet for my second layer. And now we'll take a look at finishing this sweatshirt off by cutting the sides around that bow. Now I did press this with a traditional heat press. You can use an easy press for this one. Any press that will work with HTV will work with this project. So now we just need to cut away this inside of the bow. A pair of small scissors makes this a bit easier, and you just want to cut literally as close as you can get to the HTV. And you want to take your time with this, go very slowly, and just make a cut all the way around the inside edge. So just continue to trim away until you get something that looks like this. Now you do have raw edges around this inside. You can handle this a few different ways. You can do nothing, which is probably what I'm going to do. Because I have cut sweatshirts before. I've cut the bottom of sweatshirts, I've cut the bottom of sweatpants, I've cut around the neck of sweatshirts, and I've always left the edge raw and never had any issues. So I would probably just leave this raw. If you do not like the raw look, you could stitch just around this edge at this point. So you can do that as well. I am going to leave mine raw, but it is completely up to you how you finish this off. And I'm gonna repeat this same process on the opposite side of my sweatshirt. So now you've seen just how easy it is to make this side bow. Like I said, I don't do anything to finish the edges because I have cut many sweatshirts and not had any issues at all, but you could finish those raw edges if you would like. Now, this has been done with embroidery on quite a few YouTube channels, and you could absolutely, if you have an embroidery machine, you could do this with embroidery, even HTV combined with embroidery. That would be a really cool project as well. However, I don't have an embroidery machine, and I wanted a sweatshirt with a side bow, so HTV it was. I feel like with HTV, this works out super well and is a super cute idea. Now, if you want to use the B-Flex Gimme 5 HTV that I used, you can purchase that in the description below this video. It's actually in my shop in a wide variety of colors, and you can purchase it by the roll or by the sheet. So I will link to that in the description below this video, as well as the file for the bow for the side of your sweatshirt. And now, if you have stayed till the end of this, you will want to be sure to check out the Christmas HTV idea from Corey with Hey Let's Make Stuff. It will start playing as soon as I'm done talking if you are joining us for the live premiere. Catching the replay, head to the description below this video and click the link to head to Corey's video. And now, if you have any questions about my project, you can ask those in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up for this video if you liked it, and be sure to hit subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.